واتساپ گایز، خوش اومد ویدیو دیگه. من آفاسه و قراره تو ویدیو بریم آدمای ماوراء طبیعی رو ببینیم. نه ببخشید، آدمایی که قابلیت ماوراء طبیعی دارن، یعنی شاید در دنیای عادی اونا رو ندیده باشیم ولی خب اومدن و اصلا یه چیزای عجیب غریبی بریم که با هم داشته باشیم. من این ویدیو رو هنوز ندیدم، با هم دیگه ببینیم. به اینکه فقط قبل از اینکه ویدیو بشه حتما شروع بشه حتما اگه دوست از ویدیو من خوشتون اومد لایک کنید، نظراتی اگه داشتید کامنت بذارید و حتما اگه از کانال من خوشتون اومد سابسکرایب کنید، اینستاگرام من فالو کنید، اگه دوست داشتید به دیسکورد من جوین بشید. بریم چه بریم که داشته باشیم.
At some stage as a kid, odds are you've daydreamed about having superpowers. Whether it's being able to fly, having super strength,
شیت البته مال فیلم انتقام جوین اینجوری میزنه.
might be ordinary when you can be extraordinary. What if I told you that superpowers weren't just for the comics?
شیت از سرش
Gifted people with superhuman abilities? Let's get it on. Slavica Pajkic.
سلویسا
Those familiar with
پاچ
Spider-Man
کیچ
comics would know one of his arch nemesis, Electro, the master of electricity. Well, Serbian Slavica Pajkic isn't called the Battery Man for nothing,
لامپ روشن کرد با دهنش.
and sure gives Electro a run for his money. This
آتیش
is the man who
گرفت.
makes a living manipulating current, whether it
اولی
be conducting it or
برق
storing
داره
the charge in
دستش،
his
برق و آتیش
unusual
داره.
body. Let's take a little look at some of his accomplishments and you be the judge. He has the Guinness World Record for the fastest time to heat up
کسی
a
اینا
cup
رو
of
اینو
water.
میدونه
He has
چیه؟
the boiling point by channeling 20,000 volts for a remarkable 1 minute 37 seconds. Not only that,
20 ولت 20000 ولت تو یک دقیقه و 30 سوخت میکنه. یک دقیقه و 37 ثانیه میده.
from his scalp by sparking electricity from it. But this is where it gets really crazy. His next record will involve charging up on a 1,000,000-volt generator and shooting sparks out of his hands. Shake his hand.
هم برق در کنترلشه هم آتیش. چه
In the
اینطوری
movies,
چی؟
often the hero's superpowers are revealed to them during a time of turmoil or need. Jyoti Raj was no
Jyoti
different,
Raj.
initially climbing up a large rock to end his life before feeling a jolt of
داره از دیوار
inspiration.
بالا میره
Climbing wouldn't be how
بدون
he took his
چیزی.
life. Climbing would be how he lived it. In his
چجوره؟
Wikipedia,
دستش
Jyoti is
میچسبه
known
به
as the
دیوار؟
Indian Spider-Man. He originally learned to climb from watching monkeys.
میمیونم قضا میده
On that
دمش
fateful
کرد.
day that almost proved his doom, he
چه
realized another
باحال.
thing. He had no
عجیبا
fear of heights
غریبا.
whatsoever. There are many daredevils in the world that perform
مثلا اینجوری
death-defying
بزنید
stunts
دستتو
climbing up
بچسبه.
buildings and monuments, but Jyoti is different. What sets him apart from his peers is that he refuses to wear a protective harness. He's
خیلی عجیبه، از ستون داره میره بالا. یا خدا.
The only thing he needs to scale up the wall of a building is his $200 specialist climbing shoes and a bag of chalk for
آه
gritty smooth surfaces.
کفشاش 200 $، کفش مخصوص
Asian
نیست.
Hulk.
ایژین
Often
هوک
referred to as the Asian Hulk, martial
سه
artist
داجر رو
has a
شکست.
condition known as
Ah.
or congenital insensitivity to pain. In short, he's able to do some pretty
آهن رو
remarkable
کج
without
میکنه.
feeling the pain afterwards. Normally, karate chopping
آهن رو خم کرد.
would be something 99%
آجر
of the
رو
world's population wouldn't
چه
consider, but
سنگایی.
not this guy.
قشنگ نشونم داد واقعی.
Master slice of durian after he's cracked open its
چه
extreme
دستی
spiky
داره، اینم
outer
دستشون
shell.
درد
Likewise,
نمیگیره.
busting open
او یه
metal
ببین
knives with his
اینجوری
shin in brutal kicks, even able to bend a thick wrench under the sheer
آهن رو
force
داره
and
خم
velocity of
میکنه.
his blows. Push-ups using just two
با دو
fingers,
انگشتر
too
خوش
easy.
نگاه.
Doing push-ups while balancing his entire body on 3 beer bottles, much harder. Popping cable ties with just a flex of his muscles, now we're getting into
Hulk.
territory. Whether it's food, tools,
بله
or the human body,
خیلی
he'll
دیگه
break
سخته
it.
این.
Norman Gary.
نورمن
Ant-Man
گری
and the Wasp can control insects thanks to some clever telepathic gadgetry in their helmets. But Norman Gary doesn't need gimmicks or technology. He's the real deal. He's regarded as the foremost expert on bees.
به هیچ میچستم بدون اینکه راه میره هر کاری میکنه ولی اصلا گازش نمیگیرن. نیش 100,000 زنبور روی تنش بودن. چجوری نشمردن؟ منم شک کردم. چی بانقلی با
Norman was able to do this with a bit of bee psychology, as well as a queen bee pheromone formula of his own creation. Christina Zanotto.
کریستین
Poor Aquaman. As far as
اوه، این مردی که داخل آب زندگی
ability to
کرد.
talk to fish is about as useful as only being able to fly 2 seconds at a time. Despite this, Christina Zanotto is showing us that having a connection with sharks is a
کوسه آبش ضرر نمیرسونه.
She's been diving in the Bahamas for over a quarter of a century and knows the resident Caribbean reef sharks like the back of her hand. And mind you, that's yet to be bitten. She thinks of them as her babies.
شور میشه، دست میزنه اما هیچ کاری بهش ندارن. میدونستید کوسه ها با تپش قلب اینجاست، برعکس می چی هدفشونو میبینن، یعنی نفس بکشی نه قلب تپش میگیره.
They say the pen is mightier than the sword, but what about the finger? My question is, what the hell? Kung Fu master Hoang Hui has spent his entire life training his entire
انگشتش چقدر انگشتش قویه. انگشت
Iron Fist needed iron fists, but we only required 1 digit. The unit of measurement
فرو هم میکنه.
seems to be the humble coconut. We is the Guinness World Record for cracking 4 in just 12 seconds, and is even able to pierce a much harder green coconut and drink the juice. It's like having your own cocktail maker.
انگشتش کج شده، خم شده انگشتش.
In order to see how a man can feed his family using just 1 finger. He began training his
سوراخ میکنه، چه بادی هم میکنه انگشتش.
jab his finger into palm
انگشت من نگاه.
on end. Best to stay on his good side though, as this mangled, gnarly-looking figure could quite possibly go through the bone of a human skull. Steel Man of India. Strength isn't just a measure of how much weight you can lift in the gym. There's no point being strong if you're not durable at the same time. Amandeep Singh is a bit like an Indian Superman. He has the muscles and the toughness to match. His lifelong dream is to become the world's strongest man, except he's going about it a little differently than other people. Sure, there's the obligatory
حرفی نداره واقعا. اینو اگه این کارو میکنید تو دیگه یعنی اصلا حرفی نداره. با دندوناش طرفو میکشه بالا.
This real-life man of steel involves being hit with planks of wood, lengths of steel, and sledgehammers by his closest buddies. Then for a warm-down, having them drive their cars over his body over and over again. Amandeep claims that he doesn't feel any pain thanks to a lifetime
با ماشین رد شدن هیچی نشد. موتور چجوری داره بلند میکنه.
Dmitry Politov.
It's
easy to draw similarities between Dmitry Politov and a daredevil when you see exactly what kind of acrobatic skills this guy is capable of. He's a performer in the Cirque du Soleil who knows all about what he gets up to when he's
ولی
underwater in
چه
front of the camera.
باحال،
Recently, while traveling,
دمت
they
گرم.
forbid him from doing anything
چقدر
crazy.
باهاش قویه، دستاش هم قوی، نگاه کن.
Amazingly, he's able to reach over a railing 100 feet off the ground into a one-armed handstand just by gripping the railing with his other hand and extending his entire body over the sheer drop below, making a mockery of what we think the human body is capable of. Once you see this Russian powerhouse on a pole, it's a different story. He's able to perch himself on top with just a single hand and foot before sliding down and lifting his entire body parallel to the ground. Now that's something I didn't see.
قوی ترین آدم.
Lucas Novotny.
لوکاس نیواد.
Marvel Cinematic Universe may have Hawkeye, but in the real world, we have Lucas Novotny. It's hard enough to hit the bullseye on a target, but almost impossible to nail accurate shots over and over as you ride past, galloping on horseback at speed. This is his superpower. Whether it's keen eyesight, incredible reflexes, or
کارش تیرکمونی، از هر جا میزنه به هدفش.
we're pretty sure this guy has it. Over history, most armies had riders on horseback to support their ground troops, but it's a bit of a lost art form these days. Seeing Lucas hit a moving target coming from the opposite
از داخلش رد شد. چقدر مدال داره. به نظر میاد جنگ جهانی تا الان بوده. جنگ جهانی بوده، الان انقدر مدال داره.
Cyclops may be able to blast lasers from his eyes, but can he paint a picture? No, but he sure can destroy walls and vaporize bad guys.
چشمش داره خون میاد. از خونی چشمش رنگ میاد. خونی شیت، نمیتونیم اینو بابا. چشمش داره رنگ میاد. چشم چیزیش نمیشه. البته زیر چشمش بیاد ولی
اولی.
خب بچه اینم از این ویدیو که عجب، وای خودم اصلا موندم توش. خب بچه اینم از این ویدیو. اگه بازم دوست از این ویدیو بذارم حتما لایک، حتما کامنت بذارید، سابسکرایب کنید و بدون کارت واقعا از حمایت میکنه. اگه اینستاگرام میبینید حتما اینستاگرام من فالو کنید، لایک کنید ویدیو رو، کامنت بذارید و از تو بایو از تو بایو میتونید بیاید تو یوتیوب من و یوتیوب من سابسکرایب کنید. واقعا این کارت از من حمایت میکنه. اگه دوست دارید به دیسکورد منم جوین بشید. و اینکه حرف دیگه ای نمیمونه واقعا. عجیب با چشمش دوش رنگ پخش میکرد، یعنی زیر چشمش رنگ میومد، نمیدونم از زیر بالا هرچی. یکی دیگه چقدر قوی بود، با چکش میزدن، کجاش میزدن، اینجور اونجوری، اصلا هیچ چی نمیشد. و اینکه دوستتون دارم و تو نمیتون. خداحافظ.